Our technology has evolutionized and we are in the AI era, using AI to find out the answers to different questions. And I wanted to test out AI to see if it knows about Disney Pixar Cars. I have a document with 10 questions ready to set and go to ask AI if they know about cars. We're gonna use ChatGPT and the AI Gemini, which is the built-in AI, you could say, in Google. First question we want to find out is, what is the car in the Rust-eze commercial in Cars 1 whose bumper gets fully cleaned? Now, you guys should know this. We're gonna find out if AI knows. Gemini says the car in the Rust-eze commercial in Cars 1 whose bumper gets fully cleaned is Lightning McQueen. Definitely that's not the answer. In the commercial, he says, Lightning McQueen here, and I use Rusty's medicated bumper ointment, new rear end formula, blah blah, we already know that line. While his formerly rusty bumper gleams, which is not even Lightning McQueen. What does ChatGPT tells us? The car in the Rusty's commercial in Cars 1, whose bumper gets fully cleaned, is Rusty Rusty's. Now this is even worse too. In the ad, Rusty excitedly says, look at that shot. Hold up, don't you dare tell me that ChatGPT is confusing Rusty Rusty's with Lightning McQueen. How do you do that? Because Lightning McQueen is clearly the one that says that line. But we all know the answer to this question. Who was the cars whose bumper got cleaned up? It was Jonathan Renschwartz, and we have the evidence right here. You can see the die-cast car right here, nice and green, all rusted up, and you can see the back part right here, even the license plate, Evil, and then the rusty bumper. Eventually, this gets cleaned up, as you can see from this picture. We got the rusty can right there. So that is already one answer wrong from AI. This next question is going to sound a little dark, a little harsh, but who was the second character to die in Cars 2? We know the answer, but we're gonna see if AI knows the answer. Taking a look at ChatGPT first, in Cars 2, the second character to die is Leland Turbo. That is completely false right there. Look what it says. First character to die. It's implied to be Leland Turbo, but technically he's already dead when the scene begins. But in the beginning, we clearly see Leland talking, so he was still alive when we were introduced to him. He ended up being the first character to die because Finn McMissile found out that he was all cubed up over at the oil rig. Second character to die on screen, that will be Rod Torque Redline. Now that is a false statement right there as well. Even Gemini says the same thing. The second character to die in Cars 2 is Rod Torque Redline. But if you truly remember Cars 2, you could go on Google, search up Cars 2 Keith Gremlin. Keith Gremlin right here is the green gremlin who was chasing Finn McMissile on the oil rig when Finn McMissile was just running away and fleeing from the scene. Finn had his little spy gear get into action. He put oil all across the pathway that Keith was chasing him on, leading to that result of Keith falling off the oil rig and splashing into the water, and goodbye, Keith Gremlin. I'm kind of disappointed so far. 2 questions that AI has already gotten wrong. Explain to me in 4 sentences how Lightning McQueen got lost in Cars 1. Lightning McQueen got lost when his transport truck Mac fell asleep while driving through the night on the interstate. Startled by a gang of tuner cars, Mac swerved. I wouldn't really consider him swerving, causing Lightning McQueen to fall out the trailer unnoticed. He wasn't really swerving, he was just falling asleep. Mac was super sleepy that he almost went to the shoulder. And you know how on the shoulder there's like these bumps to wake up the driver? Well, of course, those bumps did not work out in this case. It was so bumpy that one of those little figurines ended up falling on the open door button and opened the back door of the trailer, leading Lightning McQueen to, yeah, we already know how the story ended. Now, how does ChatGPT word it? Lightning McQueen got lost in Cars 1 after falling out of his transporter Mac while they were driving overnight to California for the big race. Okay, I'm kind of liking this a little bit more. Mac was struggling to stay awake, and when a group of tuner cars started messing with him, Lightning accidentally rolled out of the trailer without anyone noticing. Okay, it sounds a little bit better because they mention Mac struggling to stay awake. He, in reference to Lightning, woke up alone on the highway and panicked, speeding off in search of Mac, even though he couldn't find Mac. We already know how that happened. While trying to find the interstate, he ended up in the forgotten town of Radiator Springs, where his real journey began. So you could say this is probably the first question that AI gets right. I'm leaning more towards the ChatGPT version rather than Gemini version. There are just some details with ChatGPT that is more correct, you could say, rather than Gemini. Question number 4. Oh, this is gonna be a fun one. What was Mater's first ever line in Cars 1? ChatGPT says Mater's first line in Cars 2006 is "Dadgum." Mater's first ever line in Cars is when Lightning McQueen is being transported in Mac and Mater is watching from the side of the road. As Lightning's trailer passes, Mater excitedly exclaims, "Hey, there he is." AI got that completely wrong again. The first line that Mater ever said in the Cars franchise was, "Good morning, Sleeping Beauty." He woke up Lightning when Lightning was already in the impound. He was booted up, and Mater was just keeping an eye on him because Sheriff told him to do so. And I mean, ChatGPT, in a way, like, I know it's not the exact line, but the scenario on where they're talking about Mater's first appearance. He says it when he sees Lightning McQueen being hauled into the town by Sheriff after the big chase through Radiator Springs. It is after Sheriff chased McQueen in the town, so he got that right, all right? ChatGPT got that part right, but they did not get the line correct. Now, I may have worded this question a little bit incorrectly. What happened to Radiator Springs just to save 10 minutes of driving? I'm trying to remember the line that Sally mentioned to Lightning McQueen when they were at the Wheelwell Motel just talking. Gemini says Radiator Springs was a thriving town on Route 66 until the construction of the Interstate 40 highway bypassed it. All right, I already had to read that first sentence. That is good. Radiator Springs was bypassed by Interstate 40, which was built to save just 10 minutes of driving. All right, that's a correct answer for AI, and wow, both of them actually got it correct. And they mentioned the word bypass, which is what I wanted to see. The next question, we were introduced to the characters that I want to see listed down in Cars 3, but they knew Doc Hudson back in 1965 when the legend used to race. Here are 4 characters who knew Doc Hudson back in 1965. Tex Dynaco, The King, Junior Moon, and Smokey. That was the response from ChatGPT, and now we have the response from Gemini, Lizzie, Flo, Ramon, Sheriff. You clearly see a whole difference in this aspect of listing the characters. Gemini gives us characters from Radiator Springs, while ChatGPT gives us characters from the racing world. Tex Dynaco and the King, there were not ones that I was waiting for. They probably knew them, all right? In their history that we did not see in the past, they probably knew Doc. But I was also waiting to see Luis Nash and River Scott. You guys could see this drawing that I was able to find here on the internet, and of course the famous picture when McQueen actually meets all these legends. This one is going to be different out of all. We're not talking about the movies now, we're talking about a Cars Toon episode. Which Cars Toon episode was this line said in? Remain calm. Gemini tells us that this was said in the Cars Toon episode, Mater the Greater. Now, honestly, I don't remember that. If you guys remember, please let me know in the comments below. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Remain calm is said in Cars Toon Air Mater. I personally don't remember that either, but what I'm trying to reference to with the remain calm line, which is a very broad statement, okay? Any episode could have said it, but I was remembering the Rescue Squad Mater episode. McQueen was in the burning building and Mater needed to save him. And in order for Mater to properly save McQueen, he had to get him to calm down. Question number 8. I did not mention any movie at all. I want to see if AI is good at this. Who is the lemon in Radiator Springs? So Gemini tells us that there isn't a specific lemon character who permanently resides in Radiator Springs in Cars movies or Cars Toon. I am trying to see if I see anything with Gemini, and I see absolutely nothing. How about with ChatGPT? ChatGPT, the lemon in Radiator Springs is Lizzie, the sweet but quirky old Model T Ford. They did not mention Otis, man. Neither one of them mentioned Otis. Okay. That's the one I was looking for, because we all love Otis. Even Otis calls himself a lemon. All right, I'm expecting for AI to get this one right. They better get this one right. All right, we got the 4 heads of the lemon families. Professor Zundab, Graham, and Acer. The actual heads of the lemons families are Ivan, the Russian mob boss. He's not even a lemon family. Well, what are you saying? Not named directly in the film. Yes, he is named directly in the film. That man is just helping out the head of the Hugo family, Victor Hugo. So the 4 lemon family heads in Cars 2 are Victor Hugo, J. Kirby Gremlin, Tubbs Pacer, Petrov Trunkov, Vladimir Trunkov, bro. Vladimir Trunkov. All right, Gemini tells us for the Pacer family, Tubbs Pacer, Gremlin family, J. Kirby Gremlin, the Hugo family, Victor Hugo, and the Trunkov family, Vladimir Trunkov. Okay, Gemini gets this one. ChatGPT, you just messed it up with Petrov. All right, question number 10. I did not mention any movie at all. No context. I just said true or false. Turn left to go right. True, in a roundabout. And true, turn left to go right is the key line from Doc Hudson. Man, isn't it? Turn right to go left. You did not even read the words correctly, AI. Neither one of you guys, Gemini or ChatGPT. This is gonna be the last question, a final bonus question to see what they give me. Can you name 2 well-known Disney Pixar Cars YouTubers? ChatGPT, who do you give us? We have Disney, Docket, and COOLection TV. Okay, you were actually right there, ChatGPT. I'm proud of you. Good job there. All right, what does Gemini give us? Let's see if they actually give us a list. And they do not give us a list. They give us a whole paragraph explaining. I'm not even gonna worry about reading all that. We got the answer at least from ChatGPT. Can you give me one more YouTuber? Just for the curiosity here. RC Cars 5. That is still Disney Docket. I want to see if they give me like CarsShifter or something. Oh, it's Tawny's Diecast Garage. Never heard of them, but okay. Okay, I got a little too curious and too dragged away. I asked for 3 more. We got Chuki's Diecast Reviews. Don't know who you are. Piston Cup Productions. I know you. Hey, guess what? I mentioned. Let's go. Okay, now I'm definitely gonna favor this. Unboxing skits, comparisons, and rare diecast hunts. Well, I wouldn't say rare diecast hunts. Known for massive collection. Some people have bigger collections than me. Cool thumbnails. Are you really? You calling my thumbnails cool? And nostalgic content. I mean, that's true. We did talk about Blue Collection a lot. Audience, longtime Cars fans who enjoy deep dives. Commentary, you could consider that, as well as those looking for rare items. I wouldn't really call it that. I don't have rare items. So that was an interesting, and I mean an interesting video, seeing AI get a majority of the questions wrong. It just proves to us, and listen to your teachers, guys, do not use AI. If you want a part 2 to this, let me know some questions that I should ask, all right? Leave them down in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to record and ask these questions to AI, see if they get them correct next time. If you like long-form content like this, I also do suggest you to check out the very first podcast episode of the Hot Pursuit podcast that released about almost a month ago. Yes, I've been a little bit inconsistent, but we'll be back to it before you know it.